This is supine breathing with reach, placing my head on a towel roll or a pillow. Ultimately, the goal is to calm down the neck muscles, the shoulders, and allow myself to really melt into the ground and relax into the breathing position. We want to eliminate all those accessory muscles coming on board when we master our inhalation. So placing the head on a towel or pillow can be really helpful. So lying down on your back in that supine position, my head is resting on the ground. Have a dumbbell nearby as well as a yoga block. I'm going to first start with tuning in to my position on the ground. So pelvis position, want to find that neutral, watching that we're not rocking forward or kind of clenching underneath us. So when we are in that more hips neutral position with our knees bent, we'll find that our low back sort of melts towards the ground. Placing the hands kind of right here, like front and back. And you can also tune into what's happening at the rib cage. So watching that you're not flaring up towards the sky and have this more open scissor presentation. So allow the back of the sports bra and the back to melt into the ground and the pelvis to find neutral. When I place my hands kind of on the front and one on the back, I'm going to think about inhaling. And I'm going to feel my hands kind of expand. So I'm feeling that expansion into where my hands are, right around my thumb and my index finger. And as I inhale, I want to think about the air coming laterally into the back, into the ground, slightly into the chest, and a little bit out on the belly. So we're really focusing on getting that 360 expansion. And then exhale. The exhale is audible, it's long, and it's out the mouth. So you can hang there for about 5 breaths, just in this supine position. Now we're going to integrate that reach. I'm going to grab a yoga block and place it between the legs so I can really integrate the front line. So I'm going to feel the adductors, pelvic floor, front line of the abdominals, and that's just going to kind of get that front line kind of tension. You don't need to use the yoga block, but this can be helpful. For the reach, I'm going to grab a dumbbell. You can use a kettlebell. If that's too heavy, you can also just use a yoga block. And I'm going to think about reaching towards the ceiling above me. It's not so much about my arms like this and kind of reaching. It's almost about thinking about my rib cage coming back in space. So I'm leveraging that serratus, that kind of pushing muscle as I kind of reach and lift my arms off the ground. But I want you to think more about the ribs coming back versus everything just lifting up and kind of rounding through the chest and crunching and kind of blocking this off. So I'm going to reach up towards the sky, allowing my rib cage to still stay back behind me. And in this position, we want to make sure we don't flare out. So allow the ribs to melt towards the ground, maintaining that neutral pelvis position with the reach. And then this is where I'm going to take my breaths. Couple key things on exhale. Think about that exhale from the bottom up, like a wave, lifting from the pelvic floor all the way audibly out the mouth, maintaining the reach, calm neck, and we want to relax and keep everything up top nice and relaxed. So as we generate some of that abdominal tension on exhale, see if you can maintain a little bit of that tension as you inhale again. Maintain the reach, ribs back, pelvis neutral. You can release a little bit of that squeeze on inhale on the yoga block. Allow the air to flow down, pelvic floor to lengthen. Stay here for probably about 10 breaths. Should feel some tension through the abdominals. Inhale, keep a little bit of that tension. You can remove the yoga block if you want to see how it feels differently. So I'm adding that reach, holding the dumbbell, yoga block, or just reaching with my arms. Really fighting the urge to use the accessory muscles to assist in the breathing. That is your supine breathing with reach.